All right. So for my Tell Her Story project, I did Emily West Into the Glass, which is her blog that eventually launched into her company, Glossier. So we'll just jump right into it. This is my agenda. It's roughly 11 slides with just information, getting to know Emily a little bit more. So, who is Emily West? Emily was born March 22nd, 1985. She's 37 years old, raised in Wilton, Connecticut. Her father worked at Pitney Bowes, and her mother was a stay at home mom. And she is, of course, the founder and CEO of Glossier today. And this is more of her job experience as she starts climbing through the ranks. In high school, she interned at Ralph Lauren for 2 summers. And at this time, it was her connections that actually allowed her to get this internship. During the weekends in high school, she had a neighbor she babysat for, and that neighbor actually worked for Ralph Lauren. And so she expressed her interest in the company to the neighbor, and they eventually were able to connect her, and she got the internship. And after that, she graduated from New York University in 2007 with a degree in studio art. After she graduated college, she went on to be a fashion assistant at W Magazine and an on-set styling assistant for Vogue Magazine. While working at Vogue, she launched her blog Into the Gloss about women's beauty and grooming routines in September of 2010. She worked on this blog from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. before going to work at Vogue and was posting 3 times a week. And once she achieved 10 million views on this blog while still working at Vogue, she ended up quitting so she could focus full time on her growing business. And this is the beginning of Glossier. In 2013, she was able to raise $2 million in seed funding, and she used the seed funding to hire a small team. It is estimated just about 10 to 15 employees at that time. And then October of 2014, Glossier unveiled the brand's first 4 products in her blog. The pictures that I included are actually from the first product launch. So it was a foundation, like a jelly mist, a moisturizer, and then a little balm for your face. And 6 weeks after this first product launch, Glossier accounted for $8.4 million in funding at this time. And then, of course, it continued to grow. So Emily was featured in Forbes 30 Under 30 magazine in 2014. And this is Glossier continuing. The brand itself was known for pop-up experiences, and they did not open their first permanent store until 2017, and this was located in New York. And then May of 2018, Glossier opened their second permanent store in Los Angeles, California, and it is now accounted for via Forbes magazine that the company is worth $532 billion globally. And I was really intrigued on how Emily was able to just create this company within a few years, essentially 5 years after working at Vogue, and then that same year be featured in a Millionaire magazine. So I found overall the foundation for the brand success was, one, to recognize the potential of content and social media, and secondly, to focus on accessibility and attainability rather than exclusivity. So really, at this time in 2014, brands and especially beauty brands had not recognized the potential of the internet and building a platform on like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And Emily at this point was really into Instagram. So she used her platform on Instagram to build a community and promote her brand. And they were pretty much one of the first beauty brands to dive into this target market at this point. She also said that she was really focused on creating products that their consumers wanted, because if it's a product consumers want, then they're going to buy it. And she said that this was important to her to not make products that she personally wanted as the entrepreneur, but to create products that her consumers wanted, because she knew that was how she would be successful. And she also used social media as a platform to, in a sense, co-create products with consumers. So they would use their communication channels to kind of see what they wanted, so they were sure that they were continuing to make new product launches that were still attainable and access to their or to their consumers. And they also did this in the second part, to really research their target market. And at this point, it was found that it was mostly millennials, so younger generations, and because they are the ones that are spending more time online. And since she was blogging and using Instagram, this was really the market that she needed to look into. So she found after her research that 80% say women are the number one factor in their purchasing decisions. So she used this knowledge and her ability to be savvy on the internet and Instagram to use influencers and other famous women to promote Glossier, because they have a sense of credibility. So then consumers would believe them and then buy Glossier's products. So overall, the takeaway is that her business grows so fast because she was internet savvy and created an experience for her consumers rather than just you buy a product. And where it can go from here, I have that she can do expansion in hair care products, she can personalize products, and she can create a subscription model. And she can also expand her products overseas. And then I also wanted to kind of include her leadership qualities, and how she was able to lead and also become an entrepreneur. She stated in a magazine, "You will never get what you don't go for." And she did this by learning to become better at creative problem solving, pushing the envelope in her day job, and she said that she would ask a lot of questions and make requests. And if the answer she got back from these editors or higher ups that would say no, she would say, well, then what can we do? Or what is the option that we can attain? And she also said that surrounding yourself with people who are above you or just 2 steps ahead of you can also lead to your success. And then she also quoted that no one prepares you to be a CEO. You become a CEO by being a CEO. And she really was talking in this magazine about how being a CEO was a life change for her. She stated that she would usually go on vacation with friends, but as she had to quit her job and become a full-time entrepreneur, she lost a lot of this time. But she said that it's a responsibility to our consumers and to our community. So she was okay with this, and she really did stop taking these vacations and going out on the evenings with her friends to stay dedicated to these consumers, to build a brand that they would truly love. And I also have some facts. She learned the value of hard work from her parents. She was interested in beauty from a young age. Her first ad for Glossier was Lancome, which is a very popular beauty brand. She also said that she did not have a clear vision at the beginning, which I thought was very important, because when we talk about leadership qualities, we mentioned that clear vision was important, but she said while she was initially writing her blog, she actually did not have clear vision until later on, and she realized what she wanted to do. And within the first year, she actually had 1 million monthly page views. And then I have my summary, again, going over my agenda. And then I just briefly summarized that Emily was able to build her brand by creating connections early and putting in the hard work. Little sleep and a lot of determination allowed her to grow her business into the billions. So that was my presentation on Emily. I hope you enjoyed it. I learned a lot about her, and I hope you did too.